Bam, bam, bam. Shout out to everybody here. It is a beautiful Saturday night there in the East Coast. God bless you all. Let's get that music back up and running. And man, Bitcoin holding a key level. Looks like we may be able to win that trade. They opened up last night on Bitfinex and come out in the win, baby, in the win. But let's see. Let's see. Only time will tell here for BTC. And we'll find out here on the show. So let's break it down. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin because that's what I do every single day. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you for rocking out with us all and being awesome. My name's Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. Welcome to the show. Last night I talked about this flag breaking to the upside. I kind of obsessed about it all night. Look for this flag to break out on the 4-hour as we got closer to the 21-day moving average. We got the push. The trade's not up huge, but it's not down. 77 on the move. Look, they almost stopped me out there, but did not. We have ourselves above the 200 moving average, but we made a flag, but they faked it out. This is that weekend trading sauce. I mean, that looked good, and then they kind of, that should have went a nice boom to the upside. At least it did something. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's have some fun. The daily candle just closed for Bitcoin. Let's make a point to look at it, all right? So the first thing I'm going to look at is the daily close for BTC and see what happened. Not my favorite daily close, to be honest, after a wick to the downside there. So let me bring that audio down just a bit for you. It might be a little loud for you and a little loud for me there. There we go. So let's take a look. So the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that this was a W, right? And basically W's break up the length here. So this tells me that there's more to go to the all-time high, all right? Number two, all right, the secondary thing that I'm going to show you, I believe, that holds weight, that has resonance, if you know what I'm saying, resonance. It resonates, understand? It vibrates, it sends out the movement. And you can see we got this cup and handle here that ended up breaking to the upside and doing damage, right? That has a measured move wick to wick out the force. I mean, that's the exact target, basically, with a little more push out to the upside. So that's insane. Something that you have to pay attention to right there for Bitcoin. So we also kind of like came to the all-time high there and almost in some of a way made a bit of a double top. So this is some bearishness right here, the double top. We're away from the 21-day moving average. This could come collapsing down or make a beautiful flag for the 21 to come touch. How do we know that? So now we know what the two scenarios that Bitcoin's going to make. Unlikely it's just going to continue to the upside right now. It has three chances, right? One, it rips to the upside. Two, it goes sideways. Three, it comes back down to the 21. Those are the only three things it can do. You understand? Bitcoin doesn't have 1,000 options. See, this is what I figured out one day. So what are the odds of it breaking out? Well, let's look at the indicators, and we'll kind of make sense of that. Something I used to do all the time. I haven't done this in a long time. Stochastics RSI got high here. Look, we kind of eventually limited ourselves. Stochastics RSI got here, and that was the top. Stochastics RSI got here, and stochastics RSI moved the dotted line, right? And then we did break out, though, as we made a flag, but that flag would have told you to get in. So my whole point is every time we've got above the dotted line and curved, it's likely that you don't pump. I'm not saying that you can't pump, it's just likely that you don't. That's all. That's the only thing I'm saying. So right now, the odds of us making a huge pump to the upside are low. That's a lower scenario, right? So we can take that probability, and I have that. I backtested that for years. So I have 3 scenarios, and then I've backtested each of those scenarios, and I have percentages on those. Then I combine all that math, and then I say, okay, this is where I stand. This is where I sit. And then that's kind of how I could do all the computation. You understand? It comes from years of data that you keep backing up on top of itself. It's a sandwich, a layer, right? So that tells me that there's, and again, I've even seen us rip from here. It doesn't mean we can't. But usually it's some sideways price action, some type of consolidation that's going to produce this move to the upside, like 99% of the time. All right? About to say, I didn't know you could go the data window there, and I was just trying to get my object tree. I'd never seen that before. I guess if you hit data window, that's what you're going to get, right? Which is awesome. I never open, high, low, and close. You can see it right there. It's kind of cool. I never knew that. I was always going up here. Isn't that funny? I just found something out about trading for the first time in my life. The VRVP, up, down, total. It gives you the up and down total. Like, I could be using those right now. It's insane, right? So 563 up, 863 down at the key level that we're at. See, we're at a high volume node right there. You see it? 122,500 for Bitcoin. So interesting times. Interesting times. So right off the bat, we just set off what's likely going to happen. We're likely going sideways or back to the 21. We all know that. That is what it is. So we can all just say, okay, Sam knows this probability. He's been doing it for a long time. The odds that Sam is correct are very, very likely. The odds that Sam may be wrong, it's out there. There's a chance Sam Price, the crypto lifer, may not get it right today. 100%. But the odds are way higher that he does, right? And that's why he has a following. That's why people watch him. And that's why people even give 2 pieces of you-know-what to hear what he has to say. 2 pieces of coin, 2 pieces of gold. So let's take a look here. You see this getting sideways. This coming up to the upside here. And when that touches, we could get our massive move. And that just could take some time. This would be great for altcoins if we went sideways for a week straight at about 123, 122K. Tell everyone, hey, we're not ready to give it back up. We're just consolidating for our next big move. So that would make sense, right? That's all kind of in alignment with where we're going. So I'm already starting to see somewhat of a sideways price action. Like there's some good odds here that I won't win this trade. That it might just kind of mellow out and go sideways, and it's just not going to be the one. All right? So we'll see. We will see. All right? Always want to make sure. Okay. Ooh. Oh, no. How's everybody out here on the stream? Double checking everybody here on the stream. I did see 13 minutes ago, but that was a long time ago. All right, so we had some skip frames. 25% of the last 2 minutes, 13 minutes ago. So we're all right. I guess right at the beginning of the stream, maybe it was like collecting itself. All right. Ooh, we got a way there. All right. I feel so alive. I love that track. All right. So, and then you can say, well, where would we come down for resistance or for support? And you're like, well, we got 2 levels. We've got 12400 and we've got 117,250. Both are on the table, but we're very bullish. This is the most likely scenario because of the bullishness that we just go sideways here. It may make a downward flag. It may be one of those, I don't know exactly how the flag goes, and it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you know when the 21 touches, you're willing to be able to enter the trade, right? So I use the 21 for entry. I use the space away from the 21 for exit. It's very simple. When the indicators are overbought and you're away from the 21, look, had you got into this flag right here, like say, let's go back in time. Let's go back in time. I'm going to show you something right now. This is really interesting. I'm going to go back in time all the way to here, all right? Bam. So you're watching me one day, and I come on the live right now. And this looks a lot like what we're seeing right now, no? It looks very similar, no? We got very high. We're overbought. Things look crazy. We're away from the 21. And I would tell you, let's make our support and resistance lines, right? And I would say, hey, Bitcoin's likely to do, I said, it's unlikely to keep pumping. We got very high. We're overbought. I said, it could do anything. We know that. But the odds of this, it could either pump, go more sideways, or dump back down to support. Like, there's only 3 things it can do. Understand this? Once I sat there one day and was like, oh my God, Like, it's not as unpredictable as people think. Like, if something only has 3 choices, I mean, peanut butter sandwich, you know, turkey sandwich, or pizza, you know what I mean? It's like, again, 1 out of 3 ain't hard. Like, that combination could be hard to track over time. Like, what, you know, every single day trying to find out if he's going to eat the exact one. But the point is this. I've watched this so much that I'm looking for this. And then I know that the next move is here. You have to understand that if I go after 10 of these, I only have to nail 3 of them. You understand? And I nail way more than that, but I'm just telling you. So with ease and risk management, once you have risk management, you don't have to win all the time. Oh, it's so relieving. You're like, oh, I don't have to win every trade. It's like, no, you don't have to win every trade. You've got this. You can do this. You know, no stress, no fear. Like, just push yourself to the limit. So look, this was supposed to happen. You know, and I would have told you, like, this is supposed to happen. That's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? Like, I would have sold there, you would have been overbought with some bearish div. All right? And look, you would have been away from the 21-day moving average. So you would have got in as the 21 got close. And the stochastics were kind of curving right there. And you would have went to a 4-hour, you would have seen curving stochastics. I'll show you. Right here, you would have been oversold. Right here, you would have been oversold. Here, you would have been on the 21 on the 4-hour above the 200 moving average. Exactly what I teach my students. Exactly what I teach you guys how to trade on, right? So this is, I would have traded this for sure. And then I would have been away from the 21, too high in the RSI. And then you have RSI bearish div. I would have sold it for sure. We did this. I did all this. My whole point is I do the same model here. We do it on the 1 minute. We do it on the 1 hour. We do it on the daily. It doesn't matter. I do this exact same thing over and over again. There it happened again. So I'm just showing you, we're right where we were before. It's very similar of a scenario. So let's kind of, and look, there's a POC right there, 105,000 you know. Look, what a weird time that was. I'm glad we're not there right now, right? That was insanity. We're in a way better spot than we are right there. That was nuts. It gives me heebie-jeebies remembering that price action. So here we are yet again, and we go to the daily. And remember, that last daily was like a red candle, a green candle. It looks very similar. Very similar, right? A little more of a swing top there, like, you know. So, what do I see happening for Bitcoin? Well, I know it's not time to possibly jump into a trade, even though I have one open. And I think I'll move my stop to break even at this point, if possible. All right. Only up $30 after sitting there all night, but that's okay. That okay. Yeah, I'll put a stop to break even. You know what I mean? So, and who knows? But look how they just did an M pattern there to the downside, right? So, not amazing. All right, so moving forward, let's keep this moving. So, it's likely we're going to come back to the 21-day moving average, folks. I study this for a living. That's just what happens. I don't know why I knew it. I don't know how I figured it out. I don't know why I believe it so much, because you can learn TA, but if you don't fully put everything into it, then it's just not TA. You know, it's not going to give you the sauce that you're looking for. You got to be all in on TA. That's what I realized, man. It's like marriage. You got to be all in on your wife, and she'll be all in on you. You know what I mean? But if you're not all in your wife, the universe will know, and she won't. You know what I mean? It's like everything knows when you're giving everything. I don't understand how that's possible. That's the one rule of the universe that I figured out, everybody. The universe knows when you're giving it your all, and it gives the people that give it their all the most of the pie. So if you're giving it your all, you're going to get most of the pie. The second you tell yourself you're not, like, I woke up at 8 in the morning, I'm up last night, like, I'm traveling, like, I know I'm giving it my all. I know in my heart and soul I'm doing everything I can for you guys in this channel and for myself and for my family. I know that. I know that in my heart and soul, so I know the universe is going to bless me. I know I deserve the greatest things in life. You know? So that's kind of how I look at it. Beautiful. 134,117. So one of these scenarios is happening, and it could be shorter. It might only be 4 or 5 days. I'm not saying, don't time me on this like it's going to happen on October 21st. You see what I'm saying? That's not really the case. Another thing I want to show you, though, is if Bitcoin goes sideways and stays above this, if Bitcoin can stay above a previous resistance and go sideways for 4 to 5 days, it's going to make the altcoins explode. They're going to be like, oh, Bitcoin's not going to dump, everything's set. Money, money, money. You know what I mean? And it's just going to really propel things to the upside. So this is what I'm watching right now. And now we're going to go into the smaller time frames. They're going to give us the insight we need to find out more information. All right? We know the weekly's good. We know the monthly's good. We broke all that down. All right? Let's look at what's happening now. And look, the 21 crossed. We got the golden cross on the 22-hour time frame. These are great signs. Little overbought on the stochastics RSI, though. A little, I'd say a lot overbought. And we've been pumping since I got to Singapore. September 27th, we started the pump. Insane. I mean, what a plane ride I took, and what a trip I took, man. I paid for the entire trip, basically. Oh, my gosh. Insane. And, you know, I never let my partners down. I never stopped pushing, you know. I never stopped working. Like, so I didn't take a vacation like the average, you know, person online here. Oh, I got to take some time off. I'll be back in a week, folks, you know. I'm just not into that. I'm into running a company to the fullest extent. And then when I'm done doing that, I'll move on to something else. But right now, I'm all in. I just talked about being all in by the universe, and the universe knows. So I'm not going to play the universe. And again, God created this beautiful space, and you got to learn the laws that God gave you in these spaces. And there's alignment, the law of detachment. You got to believe it's coming to you. If you keep thinking you have to have it, then it's obviously not going to come to you, right? Aha. So if you're obsessed about something and you say, aha, it's got to come. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. That's, you know, because everyone says you manifest your reality. You manifest your reality by controlling your frequency, okay? Your frequency does not mean that you sit there and think about all the things you want. That actually lowers your frequency. Want is a lack word. I want a girlfriend. Like, say as a single boy, a single man. I really want a girlfriend. I really want that. I want. That means he's telling the universe he lacks the ability to get something. So he's telling you, a want means I can't, I don't have it, but I'd love to have it. A want says I don't have the skills for it, but I'd love to have it. I want gains. All right. Are you studying cryptocurrency? Are you going after technical analysis? You know what I mean? No, I just want gains. That person usually will end up in lack. You? How about this? I desire to build my portfolio to the highest extent. That's an action word. I am going to begin to learn. I desire. I desire. The want, get the want out of there. Want is a lack word, and when you use it, it will drain your subconscious mind and leave you in nothing. I'm telling you right now. The most wealthy people do not use the word want. Never. It's not a good word. It doesn't work. It's a they created a bunch of spells. When you spell a word, why do you think when you go and you learned as a kid about Halloween and they told you about the witches and they said the witches cast a spell on you, don't they? How come we spell a word then? How come they use the same word when they cast a spell on us to spell a word? You don't think that's strange? You don't think there's some connection there? Look, history is his story, man, right? And they created history and they created these words in history, okay? So think about it. It's his story. He's putting a spell on you. Don't use the words they're giving you because they know they put you in lack. They've given us a language that's strained us. Don't you understand? They've made us in a subconscious mindset by actually giving us words that don't work. And we repeat them. Our parents repeat them. Our friends and family repeat them. I'm worried. That's the worst word in the English language. Look, I'm worried about this trade. What does that mean? Put a stop loss. Understand your risk. You know? I love the circle pie chart of worry, okay? You draw 3 circles, okay? I'm worried about it. Okay, here's the worry. Can you do something about it? Right? Yes. So take action and begin to change something, right? I mean, I'm worried about my car, man. I really got to fix that next week. Call the mechanic, schedule the thing, and get it fixed. You're not worried. You see what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't, you know. So can you do something about it? A hurricane's coming. You did the best you could. Can you stop the hurricane? No. So you prepare the best you can. So am I worried? Can you do something about it? Yes, then get it done. Can you do something about it? No, then stop worrying. You see what I'm saying? I learned that worry means fear. When you're worried about something, you have a fake emotion acting real. You're worried. Oh my God, right? Scare a city. Scarcity. How do you scare a city? Make it scarcity. How do you make someone worry? Tell them that they don't have enough. All these words are draining you. They're trying to keep you where everyone else is. I'm going to get you out of it by bringing your subconscious mind to a new level. I'm going to help you reprogram. I'm going to help you find neuroplasticity in your brain. This channel is more than technical analysis. Technical analysis is the way I learned to reprogram your brain, to get you out of the programming. Because I'm going to find a way inside of your mind that no one's ever done, because I have a gift that I believe is very unique to this world. And I know we all have a gift that's very unique to this world. All right? And everyone's like, this isn't the chart, Sam. I want to make money, but your subconscious mind still isn't in total control, and that's why you're not making enough money. So you need to listen to someone like me and stop telling me what you need to listen to. Understand? I mean, I don't want to actually, you should listen to someone like me. Take some advice, some life advice about the mind, because I was trapped in the brain for so long, and I found my way out of that insane brain. My brain was hyperactive, full of awesome thoughts and movement, but it was like a very fast car that I didn't know how to drive. And I was kind of caught up on my brain for a long time. You could have a very high IQ. You could have a brain that works hyper speed. That could also be detrimental to you if you don't know how to use it. I used to tell people I had a V12 in the garage, but I didn't know how to drive it. My brain was there, but I didn't know how to fully control it, man. Now I'm in control. Now you see me moving through the earth. Now you see things coming towards me. You see me attracting wealth on a daily basis. You see it. People hate on me. People talk all this because they see that I have the movement. I can teach you how to get there. Let's get back into the 4-hour time frame. I don't want to be too tangent here, but it's so important. I think I got through to a few people today. And if I did, that's all that matters. If 3 people begin to work their subconscious mind today, watch a Joe Dispenza video, Dispenza, Dispenza, Penza. Go watch Joe Dispenza, all right? Go change your life, all right? Go start changing the fact that you can change your mind. You're in control. You can change the way you think about money. You can change the way you think about the world, and you can change the way you've been programmed consistently over time, all right? So look, that is a flag here. We crossed the 200 moving average. Things are looking pretty interesting. The daily could get crazy. You never know. But what's looking like me is just a bit of sideways price action here for the 4-hour. It looks to me like we're going to go sideways for the next 8 to 12 hours. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's hold shift and go sideways. That's a day and 2 hours, right? A day and 16 hours, something like that. So that looks to me like what could be happening. And then we have a huge move. You never know. And could it be a shoulder, kind of head, shoulder, shoulder? You never know what could happen. But this is starting to set up. RSI is a little high on the 4-hour. I'll tell you that. RSI is a little high. That's definitely something high probability-wise doesn't always play out. And then look, this is kind of shoulder, head, and kind of a right shoulder beginning to form there. The 2-hour looks good. Like, that's how I like to trade, right? You're on the 21-day moving average. The stochastics RSI is curving up. But again, it's got that effect of the 4-hour time frame. So I'll tell you what. You never know because we're super bullish and things are crazy. We could pump out of this flag. Right now, you're above support at 121,006. As long as you stay above that, you're good. If you close a candle below that on the 1-hour, on the 4-hour, you have to assume you're going lower. You know, coming down to at least test 120,008 and then 119,600. Let me label those areas for you so you can see them nice and neat. And you know exactly, like if you just glance at the screen, you'd be like, oh, what is the levels he needs? I'm on my way to work. I don't have much time. I just need to see the levels, Sam. Show me the levels. Okay, I got you. 121,593, 119,5, and 117,270. All right? So this is kind of where we stand. So, and shoulder, head, right shoulder. I could see us, you know, so don't be surprised. Maybe come up here and make a right shoulder. You never know. Like, this whole area is up for grabs, okay? Because the daily has to reset to the 21-day moving average, and we know that. We know that. And because we know that, we can play the game right. If we didn't know that, we couldn't play the game right. 100%. Okay? So understand that I've backtested this for years, and I can give you some insight that can show you what's likely going to happen. It's like I don't even want to kind of put this poll up, but that is the lane. That's like where we would go. We'd go to 132,000. It's got a beautiful, beautiful measured move. I take it to the measured move. Dude, I hung out again with Tino from Traders Reality. I want to let everyone know he's one of the realest people you ever met. Nothing like what you see is what you get. And I think you all know that. I don't think that's really need to be said. I think there's real people on YouTube and there's fake people on YouTube. And he's a real dude. He looked me deep in the face. He's like, you're an old soul, Sammy. You know, and he's like, he was brotherly, man. I had felt a brotherly connection to that dude. Like, I would go to war with that guy, man. He's a good dude, you know? I get loyal real quick for some reason. Maybe my loyalty, you know, because I got passion, man. And when I see people with passion, I want to run. I want to ride. I want to go all the way. So that's just how it is. So shout out to Tino at Traders Reality, one of the nicest people you ever meet. I got another video of me and him hanging out last night. It's so funny, man. And he also helped me, gave me some insight, talked to me, you know, said he was proud of me, you know. I was proud of him too, man. Like all the things we both done for the industry and for trading, like, you know, titans in the industry, like he was big too. And I was a nobody, man. And I came up, like I came up on the hard tip. And people send me respect now all around the world. I fly around the world and meet people with big channels that have had big followings. And they tell me, hey, man, you keep going, Sam. You don't stop. You know, respect, love in this industry is amazing. Because we're all in it together, man. We're all self-made. We're all people, we didn't have no daddy giving us 100 grand, you know. We're all self-made here. Happy days, baby. Happy days. Happy days, baby. Happy days. He said it last night. He's like, hey, you go and you get it done. Happy days, Sammy. Happy days. The guy's on point, man. And I didn't know he's Greek, man. Good guy, man. One of the best. I think, guy's awesome. So the 15-minute looks like an Adam and Eve. See, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just all this nonsense, just sideways price action. The 15-minute looks somewhat interesting. I'll give it to you. Could it be a shoulder, a head and a right shoulder? Could you break out? There's a chance you could break out. All right? I got the trade open, but is it, well, look, I'm still in it. So, you never know. How could they stop me out and pump it? Remember, it's Saturday night. One of the worst nights to trade after a huge pumping week. Don't push yourself over the limit. Just take it one day at a time, one step at a time. Look at my trades, not big. You don't have to be a big shot every day. Sometimes just finding out a probability is all. I'm here to play the game. You understand? I could play this game this small for a week straight, and then I could put 100, 200, 500 grand in the trade if I feel it's the best probability. But if it's not the best probability, I'm not going to risk my entire netty. You know what I mean? So Lifer Vision Trading Course, jump on in. That is awesome. Hit the QR code to find out more. It'll blow your mind. All right? It's there waiting for you right now. Hit the QR code to find out more about the Lifer Vision Trading Course. That's $150 the last Saturday of every month. I will be teaching it when I get home. And if I look at the calendar, it's got to be somewhere like the 20th or something like that. Oh my God. Mark Sanchez was stabbed in Indianapolis? Dude, he seems like a nice guy. It's horrible. A camper was found mauled to death, and photos hold a clue about what happened? Jeez, my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hey, news likes to tell you, so you can get mauled to death, you get stabbed in Indianapolis. Jesus, my Lord. That's, I don't read the news, man. It's such a downer, to be honest. It's such a downer. So one thing that's interesting is we're above, upon the 3-minute, we're above the 200 moving average. On the 1 minute, we're kind of hanging out, making a pretty ugly flag here, right? And then where are we on the 5? I guess being out outside, I don't know, the dirt in the air or something. Got my throat all clogged up. So look, we're also in this. Because we're so bullish, you never know, too. That's why I'm always creeping with a long, just in case. You know what I mean? So maybe that does break out on the small time frames. And remember, that's still range bound on the bigger time frame. Even when we come all the way back up there, it's still in the range. It's not a big deal. There's kind of an inverted head and shoulder in there. You see it? See, my sauce is understanding the sauce as it happens. That's why no one understands me perfectly. That's why only the true traders really understand and get to the highest level with me, because it's you got to push. You got to become like a Skywalker, someone that's ready to make it happen as it works. You're playing chess, man. You don't know what this guy's going to do. We're on the posts. We're sitting there. I'm playing chess. I got the timer. I'm staring. He moves, I move. He moves, I move. Right? After I move, the second I move, I start backtesting his 1,000 ideas, and I'm looking at all the different pieces that he can move. And I'm like, I think he'll lose the horse. If I think he's going to lose the horse, he could use the rook. He could use the knight, right? The bishop. But if you use the pawn there, and I try to go through 10 moves in 10 seconds. Then he makes a move. Then I reassess myself, make a move, right? So right now, we're playing chess, and we don't know what they're going to do. We don't know the move they're going to make. If you told yourself what's going to happen, if you said, my opponent is definitely going to move his rook to this area. Now, sometimes you are spot on because you've seen it, but the odds are not always 100%. There's no guarantees he's going to do that. So small time frames look somewhat bullish today because they're above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute, the 3 minute. The 5 minute too just bounced off of it and showing some signs of life here. So there could be a big move. There could be, or not a big move, but a move up to 123.5. Maybe just a nice day's pay here. So if we lose the 200 moving average on the 5 minute time frame, we're likely to come back down and hit the stop and then continue further to the upside. Oh, I have another. Do I have 2 stops though? Yeah, what is this one though? Why do I have 2? It's weird. I never had 2. Yeah. Just want to put myself right above break even, man, so I can't lose. So I know it's a low volume Saturday. It's not my favorite day to trade, but I also know anything could happen. So that's my update for Bitcoin. I think I'm pretty much got you in a good spot. You draw your daily with your 21-day moving average. Boom. That's the most likely scenario. But then you can whittle into the 5 and the 15 and keep them on another screen throughout the day and see what happens. And there's a chance there is a scalp here on the 5 minute time frame. As you can see, I'm set up for it. But it's, we could come up, come back down, end up back down here. Just be careful. The most likely scenario is chop inside this range, okay? And you don't want to lose the 15-minute 200. If you lose the 15-minute 200 moving average, which is this yellow line right here coming up like this, if you decide to go below that, look, shoulder, head, right shoulder, you'll come down right to here, okay, to 119K and to this zone here at 120,003. You know, just be careful. I showed you what it is, and I'm in the flag right now. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll be in a long because I'm a long boy, all right? That's what I do. That's what I does. So that is your Bitcoin update on Saturday night, all right? And one thing, let's look at the daily close for a second, right? And look, I can hit data now. I never did this before. I learned something new on the object tree. You hit the data window, and right, shouldn't that? Yeah, there you go. So let's take a look here. That's the daily candle right there. So it opened at 122,224. The high was 12792. The low was 121,523, and we closed at 122,379. Down $108 on the day, right? Indecision doji. Actually, no, it's green. Sorry, up $166 on the day. It's a green candle, but it's indecision doji, right? That can be a bearish candle because it basically is a reversal doji, and you can reverse price from that, right? But it also has somewhat of a bullish pin bar. You have a bigger wick here than there, but just, you know, it shows indecision when you've been pumping, all right? And we made one here and we did pump, but like, look, I'm trying to find a good doji. That's a great reversal doji. Morning. So yeah, but again, that daily being that far from the 21, you got, if you know my strategy and my system, you got to take that into account. And again, we could go sideways and pull it up. We could pump and pull it with us. Like, it's very rare though, very, very rare. Shout out to BitTinex, holding me down. Really appreciate it, BitTinex. They took care of the second half of my trip, which is absolutely insane. These guys are like very, very nice. So God bless BitTinex. Thank you so much for the lodgings here. They're absolutely gorgeous. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it, man. So yeah, shout out to everybody here on the live. Yeah, these people actually reach out. They say, Lifer, we've seen you go live every single day. We've seen you promote our services the CEOs see me of these companies, and they're like, I want to meet that guy. The CEOs of the exchanges, usually they just let their other reps meet all the other, you know, people in the industry. But for some reason, the big people want to come meet me because, you know what? They see the vibrance, they see the energy, and they're like, they personally want to meet me. They want to be like, I want to be at a dinner with that guy. I want to know how he ticks. I want to talk to him. And I'm a CEO of my company, CEO to CEO, man. Sitting down with CEOs across the world, man. Table to table, you know what I mean? Face to face at the table, breaking it down. And this is my dream, man. International businessman traveling the world. This is my dream. I was always dreaming about becoming the CEO of my own company and traveling the world. I'm a trader, but I also run the company, everyone, you know? And we push it every single day. We have a staff. We push every single day, you know? We're all in connection. We have team meetings. Like, this doesn't happen. Crypto Lifer doesn't happen overnight by itself. We've got a team of people here. And we're very minuscule. I think we probably have one of the smallest teams in the game. And we ratio for our production is insane. I can teach you how to run a business. I can teach you how to run a business efficiently. I really can. You know, on top of trading. Like, there's more here than just trading. This is an entrepreneur channel. This is how you put yourself at the highest levels, man. All right? Let's take a look at these super chats and see what's happening on the day. Shout out to Sean. If you want to jump in and trade where we trade, hit the link to the descriptions. Okay? If you want to trade where we trade, let me know. Let me know, baby. Let me know. And we pinned a pin comment there for weeks. BTC and KKX. If you want to jump on in today. Reliable. Shout out to Crypto Billy in the house. Sam, what's up to Reliable J? React is jumping. Interesting. Click and hold on the candle. He said click and hold on the candle? I don't know what he's saying. Yeah. All right. We need a new extended all-time high for Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol. And then it's fireworks. Then you'd be a very, very extended too at the same time, though. All right. Let's take a look at the fan funding that just came in here on this beautiful Saturday morning. And it's Sunday morning, actually. Rave Song Records. Do we all really appreciate how blessed we are to have access to Sam Price and Master Friend every day? This is truly an honor and unheard of blessing. Thank you. CryptoLifer.com. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Can you look at order? We will look at order. Hey, Sam, you're 100%, 1,000%. Joe Dispenza changed my life since I met him. I have healed my crazy spine and completely changed my life. You are blessed, Manny, with your teachings. You're a great man and a teacher, man. That's amazing, see? This guy knows the legend of Joe, man. Hey, Lifer, don't want to be another a bother, but when you have time, can you drop a token metrics list in the Discord? Hey, thank you for saying that, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'll do it right away, all right? Yeah. God bless you, man. Yeah, I didn't get to do the weekly screen share, too, as well. You know what I mean? It's impossible. You know, the timing was just way too crazy. Not impossible. Nothing is impossible. I shouldn't say that. But it was just high stress on my body. I got to be able to relax my mind at some point, and I couldn't keep pushing every single 5 seconds, you know? I also owe it to myself to at least do like a couple days, like to have somewhat of a good time here and see something without being always on myself, you know? So, but I'm pretty, it's almost impossible. Hey, Sammy, please check AARK on CoinMarketCap. From Matthias on Discord. Token over to DEX. More than MyX, but only 2 million market cap. Backed by OKX. Astra, BNB, Advantis, Coinbase, Apex, Bybit, ARK, OKX, Jaden. I like it, man. So you're saying, oh, yeah, I get it. Mexi, they let me trade with 500 and I use it to test it. So I'll lower the rest. Then they let my... I mean, just if you're in my trading group, send me your user ID. I'll send it to the rep. And 90% of the time, it's all set. So just... You know, join my trading group. You may have to, you know, it might be worth the 99 to get your, you know, I'm sorry. But, and again, if you should be in the trading group anyway. But email us, even if you're not in the trading group. Email me your user ID, man. I'm not going to do that. Just email me your user ID, all right? At cryptolivers@gmail. Explain what happened, and we'll see if we can contact someone for you, all right? Okay. You know, I don't like to say anything until something, you know, but many times that's been not an issue at all. No stress. And this almost has an Adam and Eve. You see it? Which I just saw. You know, that's Adam and Eve, man. And you have to be honest, like the daily, we could have had a huge problem and then, you know, on a dump. It's the weekend. They can move the market very crazily on the weekend. Look, this trade may play out. This trade may really play out. I don't believe I'm going to get all the way to that high, though. That's 126,000. Yeah, I should just kind of take my quick 500 right there. I'm going to move that back down here to this area. I know it's itchy, man. All right, so there we have it. I'm in a live trade. Not much craziness going on. I'll be posting token metrics to the trading group in a second. I appreciate that. And then with all that being said, let's take a look here at CoinMarketCap and see what's happening. And then we just got put on to the next DEX by OKX, which is probably going to blow. All right. They all did, you know, and you just got to smile. Good, you know, they're going to move centralized exchanging to some DEXs. Now, not everyone's going to want a DEX. Trust me, they're not going to want to add a wallet. Centralized exchanges are still going to run. It's going to be 2 different types of people. It's like you ever got a guy that likes to do, you know, there's people that have cars and they buy car stock. They don't do anything to the car, right? They just buy it. They don't even know what to do to it. Then there's guys that go in and they add all this new stuff to the car, right? They like all this new tech. Not exactly, right? I think that's not the great, but it's somewhat of a metaphor, right? Zcash just never stopped. It's kind of crazy, right? And it is a fork of Bitcoin, you know? Look at this DOUBLEZERO, ZZ. What is DOUBLEZERO? Pancake swap back in the game, up 34%. 117 for DoubleZZ. Fetch, a little bit of movement. Aptos, 25% for Aptos, which is interesting. We gave you that. I talked about Nexo for a long time. Getting in that consolidated place. Feels like Chainlink's just sitting at 22. So let me get back into the chat right now. And this is why I love the chat, man. People tell us what's going down. Zan, 15-minute time frame, please. You're all about Zan, man. You can't stop on that thing. Funny. All right, ARK, market cap. Let's take a look at AARK. But, man, what is DOUBLEZERO? Come on, baby, show me. CMCAI. 1.74 billion market cap already? It comes out on, what is this thing? It comes out of nowhere with a 1.4 DOUBLEZERO markets? How do I've never heard about it? High performance global network. Dedicated high performance links. Engineered to bring low latency network to everyone. Everywhere. DOUBLEZERO mainnet beta is live. Migrate to mainnet beta. Give your validator an edge. When every validator runs the same stack, differentiating and scarce, DOUBLEZERO enables existing validator. It looks like OKX, right? Whenever you see that. See DOUBLEZERO in real time. This looks interesting. I have to be honest. Like, that's pretty hot. Infrastructure, you know. Infrastructure play there. DOUBLEZERO. Huh. You go to Singapore, you miss out, man. Man, what happened? Let's take a look at AARK. And thank you so much for telling us, Jaden. You're on point. You know, and that's why I need those young soldiers out there, Jaden. You know? That's why this trading group is bigger than me, man. It's people like you that contribute. Remember that. It's very important. I'll be honest, the market cap's very small, which tells me to be careful. I mean, that's high risk, high reward. The volume's tiny. Sometimes I buy 50K worth of something. That would be a third of the 24-hour volume. So I have to be honest, there's some issues with this. Total supply, 418. Circulating supply, wow. That's interesting. I mean, the circulating supply isn't that far away from the total supply. Huh. Profile score 49%. And as a Solana address, so we're going to go over to Dex Screener. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that it's on MEXC, but let's take a look. You never know. With a market cap that small, I think it's unlikely. It's on Gate.io. It's on Blowfin, though. So it's out there. And you can get it on the Solana wallet, too, as well. Let's take a look. Looks like it already got run up, right? Like, so on September 26th, it was nothing, and it ran up, and then it came back down. So I don't know if it's like a speculative idea that people played, but it's down in the dumps. Here is, you would be like, all right, is it going to round the bottom? You know? So maybe there was an initial airdrop or something we didn't know about, or a farming situation and people sold it all. I don't know exactly what happened here, right? But you can see that it's kind of coasting on the bottom. I don't know. I don't like to buy bottoms like this. Exactly. Like, that's not my favorite thing, you know, unless it's Bitcoin, you know, or a big asset with mass volatility. Something with a very, very low market cap, I'd be. So look, they ran this thing up a week ago out of nowhere. I mean, they ran it up huge too. I don't know. It looks to me, which I don't want to say, but a P&D, right? I don't even want to say the words, but it looks like a P&D to me. I mean, it is. That's a P&D, dude. So someone took a hold of that in some trading group or something. That's not for me. I don't like that. You know what I mean? That was an organized something or other. And then they got all the newbies to get in and get wrecked, man. So I'd be careful. And maybe it breaks out. Maybe it has some movement. So my thing is this. It's riding the 21. You could pull the Fibonacci. Why not? But I've seen so many assets in the world. I can see red flagged assets and I can see golden, you know. I mean, it's not even, it even went lower than the 886. Damn, I thought we'd have a little more, this would be better looking. Let's take a look at it here. I always like to look at it before it hit the exchange. Someone gave this to us here, said it's going to be huge at 003, like, you know, $30 million market cap. And then we put it here and it absolutely went up. I think it did a 10x from when the guy gave it to us on the live. It did a 10x. So look, it looks like this thing may continue. The thing is, it's fair launch. It doesn't have a bunch of people to dump on you from what he told me. All right, and I trust that. Let's take a look at what it is. Seller AI, right? And that's it. Everything's .ai, man, right? So the pre-sale raised 850,000 USD. Supply 700 billion. Available at token launch date. Contract renounced. Freedom powered by the Faux formula. Untraceable, unstoppable, uncompromised. Enter the seller. Interesting. They only see what we want them to see. Powered by the Frank formula. Liquidity locked. The liquidity will be locked forever or burned, allowing future holders to fully own the liquidity. Renounced contract. The action makes the contract immutable. It cannot be changed, updated, or controlled by anyone, thus making the contract owned by the holders of Exceller. No buyer sell tax. Formula core. Is it like a meme? You know what I mean? Seems like a meme coin the way they're kind of talking about it. Enter the seller, read the manifesto. Protocol stats. Interesting. 0.1 ETH 2 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago. So only 5 people bought this in 30 minutes. So you're telling me in an hour, 10 people are going to buy this? You're telling me in 10 hours, 50 people may buy this thing? I don't know. Let's move on to Zan. Right now, I'm a little weary of that thing. I have to be honest. It doesn't look awesome to me. I'd be very, very, I'd be weary of it. Watch it out of nowhere just absolutely rip today, right? And everyone be like, but Sam, like,
It was the DEX, and it was going to rip, and they just dumped it. I mean, hey, it's in a falling wedge. You know what I do? Because whenever there's a false pump, you'll take that wick. And I guess realistically, near the 786. Then you look at the 1 hour time frame, and then you look at the 15. And you know my story, fine. If it can break above the 15-minute 200 moving average, what I will say, and I've seen this before, is this is kind of a hidden Adam and Eve, right? That could go sideways to the upside. I've seen that. You draw your neckline here, and it does break out. I need the 15-minute to break the 200 and get a flag or something. You know what I mean? And then maybe, just maybe, I'd be into it. But still, sketchy for me. And look at Bitcoin, kind of just struggling inside the end of this, just getting tighter and tighter in the zone there. So we gave you everything we could for Bitcoin. That makes sense. And we broke down, and let's look at Zan. Zan, baby, Zan. Little Zan. Remember Little Zan? Yeah, it was horrible. I love everybody, man. I don't want to talk about anyone. Little Zan was struggling. He was going through a lot in his life. You know what I mean? I'm being honest. Like, wow, we did this Adam and Eve. It looked like an Adam and Eve, and by golly gee oh my, it was. Right? I'm just saying. I saw it. And then Adam and Eve's always have this little flag recently. They didn't always, but now it's like I've seen this over and over again. Zan, maybe Zan. And it was 9 cents. It's now 13. And you could be onto something. A Noma, right? And we've been looking at this now for a week, folks. So this may be one of the hotter, Now, this is hot. See how it's above the 200? So, you're looking for this for that coin I just saw. I'm looking for... See what I just said about the last coin? I said, maybe it does that, and I'd get in. I don't have to buy the exact... Because you don't know if that's the bottom. This thing looks interesting. I'll be honest, man. You may be onto something here. I see what you're I'm picking up what you're putting down here, Underground Crypto. And shout out to everyone. Go to Underground Crypto to find out more. He's in the lifer community. He's one of the lifers. Good friend of mine. And works really hard to produce awesome information for you. And he does it from the bottom of his heart. Like if he makes it in YouTube, it'll be because he cared more about making content than making it on YouTube. You see, people that think, I want to make it on YouTube, never make it on YouTube. People that just say, I want to make good content and see where it goes, make it on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I want to help people and do what I love. Oh, I made it on YouTube. You know what I mean? Oh, I want to make it on YouTube. Again, that want word. I want to make it on YouTube tells the world you're probably likely never going to make it on YouTube. Isn't that crazy? I am going to build a sustainable business, and I would like to use YouTube to do it. That's, I desire to change the world through YouTube. Those are words you want to use. That's how you want to kind of talk into existence. Your words are powerful, more powerful than people realize because they start the frequency. First, there was the word, right? The logos. It's in the Bible, right? First, there was the word, and then, man. So look, this looks interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes sideways throughout the day. I would watch this on the weekend. And shout out to Underground Crypto who busted his butt, searching the entire internet, writing, spending his time figuring out this awesome data. And so it doesn't come for free, this stuff, man. People bust their butt to figure out what's going to happen in cryptocurrency and where we're going. My goodness, what was that? That thing went from 001 to 0018. Crazy. Let's take a look at Zcash and see what happened here under the radar as it just continued to rip and do damage. There was some big gains here in Singapore as I was offset by the timings. I'm pretty sure I would have been able to get a piece of all this action. I mean, that's just insane. Like, are you serious? Like, that's insane. Man. So you're telling me on the 28th of August, this was 38 and almost did a 5x from here. And even here, right before the September 28th, it was $63. And now it almost did a 3x at 174, and it looks like it's not stopping. Like something's going on here. Away from the 21 is unsustainable. I'll tell you that. 4 hour, 20 hour, you got to know when to chase and when to stay based, right? Look, that's a W though. You can't say that didn't break out of like some type of triangle here. And now it's like a retest. There's a chance this thing goes up one more here out this little flag. If anything could pump today, this thing's got a lot of sauce on it. So I would watch it closely. It is starting to come lower. A lot of sauce. Let's take a look at the 15-minute time frame too as well, and that's pointing up on a flag. It might even make an inverted head and shoulder. Something like a shoulder, head, right shoulder. So that, yeah, I'm starting to get some vibes here that this thing could do some damage. Remember, it is Saturday night. I think a few select coins will pump on Saturday night. It's not like, oh my gosh, right? And it's 9:30 on a Saturday night here. I thought Casper was going to do numbers. Me too, man. I had bags of it. Underground crypto was amazing. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, man. Can you look at ZB? I know who's amazing, man, because I'm amazing. You know what I mean? I know. Real recognizes real, baby. And I don't mind stating the obvious. Let's take a look here at Mex C Zebek Network. This thing's hot. Ben hot. Right? And you can see it in the flag right there. Look. If your mind can't make this flag immediately, we got to work. We got to work till you can see these flags just exactly as they are. That is just breaking out and could get that weekend pump to the upside. And then if you look at the bigger picture, Zebek, we've talked about it for so long here, and I gave you the entry right there at 003. It took forever. It's already up about 25%, and it looks like it may just be getting started. So don't sleep on Zebek Network. I see it headed to 0115 not too long from now. And I don't own any. It doesn't matter to me. I don't know the team. None of that is why I'm showing it to you. I'm showing it to you because I actually see the charts look good to me. That's it. I'm a real person. I'm not here, If I do make money, in the industry, it's because I use things, right? I use an exchange. I like it. Use the exchange I use. I think it works. Stuff like that. But besides that, I'm not shilling anybody's projects but my own. My own trading group, cryptolifer.com. Go to cryptolifer.com. There used to be a time where I would forget to talk about my own website a lot on the channel because I was so into the charts. So funny. But go to cryptolifer.com to find out more if you want to join the trading group and become something amazing here. And start your educational journey. Get an education, find financial freedom, join us today, right? Read about me, find out more about who I am, what makes me tick. In the About section, you can read my story, talk about the broken system, and join me on my journey, man, at Crypto Lifer. So I can't wait to show you guys what we do and how we do it every single day here on the channel. And go to this website, beautiful website. We spent, we did a lot making this amazing. Shout out to Jamie for nailing that website. Website's awesome, man. My development team is bar none. There's no one better. Yeah. No one better in my development team. And you either have a team as good as mine or you don't when it comes to development. People will see how hard I work, so we develop hard. And we're going to change the way you see crypto in 2026. We're working on something absolutely mind-blowing that no one else in the space is working on. We're going to bring it to you. Oh, my gosh. You'll have no clue. Until we drop it, you're going to be like, wow. But just know that we are reinvesting in your learning experience. Your 99 will explode every single time you continue to invest in the Crypto Lifer game. So that's it. There's a bunch of hot coins out there today. I'll be scanning the market in a second and seeing what's up there. My elites are just pumping out charts. There's so many charts in the trading group. If you join my trading group, it's me. It's my elites. There's so much action here going on. Look at this chart after chart after chart. Look, my rider made me more gains than my measured move. 19%. Look at this. Riding soup. Was that Sui Pad or something? I don't know exactly. Somi. Anyway, there's a lot of different things out there. Pay attention. Pay attention. Right? Jelly to the upside. Entry from 4 to 10 cents, and he showed you vision for small gains, decent leverage, nice, no greed, just patience. Yep, just keep moving forward. Amen. Unbelievable. Jelly to the upside. Look, he nailed it. He nailed it, man. See, so just pay attention. There's so much action. I could take the calls in the group, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? Like, they're trained. These people were trained by me at a high level. Have paid attention at a high level. Don't play games at a high level. So you do whatever makes you happy. Okay? Let's take a look at Caspa. Someone brought it up. It looks horrible. Hasn't done a dang thing. It's like the forgotten coin. It's right at entry. I'm looking for this cup and handle to break out and head back up to 13 or 14. Won't be that far from its all-time high then in that one move, and that could happen in a week. So I'm bullish on the higher low, and I still have a long here for Caspa. So you do whatever makes you happy, but Caspa does look like it could finally get the move out the higher low to the upside. Any chance you could look at PEAQ, says Market Rondu. And shout out to all the super chats here. God bless you all. $71 in chat revenue. That's amazing. That's breakfast. Rave Song Records. Ponker Soul Troll. Oh, yeah. Poner Kills All Trolls. We got to look at order for you. Yep. That's the Blues guy. I love that. Lewis Angel. Love you, brother. And thank you for reminding me about that. I really appreciate that. And Supersonic. We looked at AARK. Ace Supersonic. I like that. Bitcoin Huddle Hands. Underground Crypto. We did look at Zan. We looked at ZBCN. We looked at Casper. And now we're going to take a look at PEAQ. You know, PEAQ is like big-time infrastructure. They came across like they were going to be a big deal. And then, like, the price action just kind of absolutely got demolished. Real world assets like tracking in real time, like logistics and stuff, like PEAQ was hot until some VCs got a hold of that and dumped the entire, I don't know what happened there. But so PEAQ on the daily still looks like it has legs. I look to see if it can come down just a little bit for a pump here. That's above the 200 moving average on the daily. That's a very bullish sign. I see a flag there on the 4-hour time frame. This looks like it may get ready to rocket right now. I'm being honest. I think whoever just gave this is a lifer and understands my sauce. And then thinking, I think Sam's gonna see a hot trade here. I'm gonna ship it his way. I think you're on point, and I appreciate you, whoever just did this. See, we work together. This is working together. You come to this channel to be interactive. You're working with me. You're like working with my brain. You're like, I know his brain's gonna like this. I like it. He's worked with me. I've worked with him. We can do this together. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why I love the community. This is why I love each and every one of you. I would never want to be anywhere else. Either with my wife and kids or hanging out with my trading group. There's just nowhere else I'd want to be in my entire life. Like, this is amazing. And look, that looks interesting to me. I wouldn't be surprised if PEAQ takes off. Like, I really believe it's worth a call here. It got beaten, badgered. It's finally down. And if Bitcoin can go sideways today, the altcoins can pump. All right? If Bitcoin can go sideways, the altcoins can pump. I keep forgetting. I think it's Saturday throughout the day, though. It's Sunday for me at 9:30 in the morning. But it's 9:36 p.m. for you, right? So, anyway, pay attention. Stay focused. I'll be busting out a token metrics chart and throwing you guys some other stuff that I see inside the trading group. But for the most part, I love you guys. Oh, let's take one last thing, too. See if I can get it to come up there. Yep. Crypto rank is huge, and it's really provided me great insight to overlap with my token metrics. Look at Psi Protocol. Sorry, and a lot of coins are going to come out. Plasma keeps getting beat down, but there's a time it's going to bounce. Aster taking a hit to 193. Dang, man. Aster really took a drop down really hard this morning. Crazy. And it looked like it would. I made a pretty big bet on Aster too, so we'll see where this goes. But dang. Aster, baby, Aster. Follow me at CryptoLifer33 to find out more. All right, we're at F1. We had a blast. We went around the world. It was absolutely amazing. And put your mind to this, Keep pushing. Anything is possible. All right, you can end up wherever you put your mind at, man. Look, we finally got to 39.2 for the first time ever. Maybe we're starting to break through, man. Something is going our way, right? Man, it's been an amazing trip, though. Like, look at me and Tino, man. Look at the smiles, man. We were happy to meet each other. It was pretty cool. It's like legends in the space, bro. And look at Bitcoin holding that key level. Looks like this flag could break out on Bitfinex. You see? You never know. We could be at 123,474 later on today, and everything could be ripping. It's alt season Bitcoin, man. So don't put it past what can happen here. Always be ready for a move because it can happen that fast. Falcon Finance on the radar, very small. 000 came out of nowhere, man. Advantis still could make a run, as far as I'm concerned. Somia Networks on the radar for me, up and down. Has the liquidity too, Stable, unstable coin. Hyperliquid back to 48. Hyperliquid's annoying. Goes from 45 to 50. I was done holding it. Yeah, it was just like, was it going to double up after months and months and months and months? 00 Falcon yield basis. Never heard of yield basis. EB. You want to write that down. Anoma. And that's Zan. You know what I mean? My man brought it up already. We were on top of it. ZK Verify and the Somia Network. So, and then also going to produce a big list for you right now in the trading group. So stay tuned for that. That looks like we could pump. Kind of shoulder, head right, shoulder-esque. And there's a chance here. You're on the 21. The Stokes are curving up. And you're above the 200. But you may not just get the volume. It's Sunday. It's Saturday night. So everybody, I love you. I'm going to jump out of here for the day. We had an amazing stream. May God bless each and every one of you for being here. Thank you so much. The next stream will be Sunday update, which will be tonight, sometime. I'll bounce in at like 7 to 9 or something like that, right, for your morning update. Anywhere between like 7 and 9 o'clock in your morning. And then I do the weekly close Monday morning, and then you won't see me again till your Monday at like 2 o'clock, 2 to 4, I believe the stream will be on. So I love you. Thank you so much. I'll catch you on the flip side. And remember, you're not going to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. The secret to success is getting started. I'll see you on the next stream.